guys, it's Kyle here from Backcountry Adventure Motorsports, and today I'm going to do kind of a 1-year review of the Touratech crash bars, the upper and the lower crash bars. If you followed me on this channel and as well as Instagram and Facebook, you know that I ride this bike pretty hard. I've beat these bars up pretty well, and because of that, I'm actually going to be taking these off here pretty soon and going with a different brand which I feel is a little bit more durable for the kind of riding that I do. But that being said, I have been pretty happy with the Touratech crash bars for the most part. Like I said a minute ago, I've really kind of beat them up, and they've for the most part have done their job. This video is just to kind of review them, kind of the pros and the cons about them, and just kind of give you a better idea if this is something that you're planning on purchasing for your Honda Africa Twin. That being said, we'll go ahead and get started. So the system kind of includes a lower and an upper crash bar that wraps around the front of the bike, and it's obviously symmetrical on both sides. It protects the engine, the upper fairings, and does a pretty good job. If you look at my bike here, you'll see that it's kind of beat up. I've been riding a lot lately in Utah and Nevada where it's really rocky. But here are some of the issues that I'm having. So if I set this down here, that with not much force, just my fingertips. Now these are tight. I go constantly and tighten these up. There's quite a bit of movement in these bars. Now you can see here, where these bars have actually compressed in and touched the fairings. They also don't give a whole lot of protection in here for any rocks, just because how close they are. You can see how beat up this is. If you look at the front here, it's touched there and it's almost touching now. And this side here is touching, so they're kind of slanted from falling on this side here. But you can see there it's touched. Here it's rubbed pretty well. I've had to bend these things out several times. But I mean, they have done their job. They've protected the radiator and the plastics for the most part. They just they're not as durable and as stiff as I would like them to be. Now, as far as the bottoms go, the bottoms have actually been pretty good. They haven't taken a lot of force to the sides. I mean, I have. If you look at them, they're pretty scratched, and I've this is all bent up from rocks and everything. But they've moved in a little bit. I've had to bend them out one time, but they haven't touched the engine on this side. So they've been pretty good. I've actually been pretty happy with the lower crash bars. One thing that I'm not happy with is that they're only good for the Touratech skid plate, and I personally, just in my opinion, didn't want to go with the skid plate because I don't think it's as durable as some of the other ones out there. Now on this side, I did have to move this once. It touched here on the case, and you can kind of see where the paint's a little chipped off that, or scratched, I should say. And it bolts to the frame on this side, and you have these connection plates here. But if you look, they're so far out from the frame that it does provide some leverage. So they do have some flexibility whenever they take an impact. But again, they have done their job, because you see how scratched they are. I've beat them up pretty good against rocks and things like that. So, but what's nice about the stainless steel is, even though it does scratch, there's not any paint or powder coat to chip. So they're scratched, but they're not completely tore up as they should be if I were to have a powder coated or a painted crash bar. So another thing about these crash bars is that this bracket right here that mounts, well, it doesn't necessarily mount to the frame, and you can't see it with the skid plate in the way, but that actually, those two bolts here, there's a bracket there that it sandwiches the mounting plate here to the frame, and so it doesn't actually bolt solid. It's like I said, it's sandwiched, which I did have one low impact like this once that slid this bar up against my radiator reservoir and or my coolant reservoir, and that could have caused a problem if it would have come completely off or would have smashed up against here. So again, another con to the Touratech bars. They're just not as thick as some of the other ones out there. But I mean, the main reason I went with these is because when I bought this bike, I bought it when it first came out, and there wasn't really anybody else out there that made a bar for this bike that was, you know, they put a lot of time and stuff into it at the time to make these bars streamline and also be pretty durable. And I think for your average rider, for somebody who rides on the weekends and just does fire roads and things like that, or if you want to protect it from tip overs, these bars are excellent for that. Now, if you want to do a lot of the BDRs and you want to do some extreme riding, maybe in like Utah or in Nevada, I would definitely go with another crash bar, just because when you have a 500-pound bike and you're tipping it over with all your gear on it, in my personal opinion, and nothing, I'm not trying to bash Touratech at all, but in my personal opinion, they're just not as durable as some of the other crash bars out there. So, you know, hope this video has helped you make any decisions. If you're planning on buying these bars, I think they'll be great for tip overs and things like that, and even just your average rider. But if you're planning on doing anything more extreme, you might want to look at some other companies out there and see what they have to offer. If you're curious on what I'm going with, I'm not going to say it in this video, but curious on what I'm going to go with, and you haven't seen my other posts, then just stay tuned to this channel. I'll be posting an install video of both the new upper and lower crash bars and the skid plate that I have, and I should be installing those and posting that video up soon. So, and thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them down in the comments section. Feel free to ask any questions. If you're a diehard Touratech fan, you know, I'm not trying to bash on the bars, like I said, but this is just my experience and my opinion that I have about them. So again, leave me some comments. If you like the video, hit that like button, and if not, hit that dislike button. But if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do so you can have some updates on other videos that are coming out. And thank you so much for watching. Kyle from Backcountry Adventure Motorsports, I'm out.